when you want to give your friends in the Underhive a gift, and that gift is explosive, and it will kill them. It's not really a gift. We're talking about grenades.
They're also not a friend. Frag out! Frag out!
Hello and welcome to Necromundown, continuing our tier list coverage of the trading post options with grenades, the shortest list. Not counting equipment maybe, but that's a...
Yeah, I looked down at booby traps and I was like, I could have put those in here.
I mean, that, I think... Yeah, that's a very short episode. Anyway, we'll get to that. So, grenades. Grenades are interesting in that they're not consumables, technically.
They're not consumables. They're not technically weapons.
Right. Which is actually kind of nice, because if you use the rules as written, where you cannot freely swap between weapons on anybody, except plus they have, you know, the tool of the trade.
Tool of the trade.
You can still freely swap grenades.
Yep,
You can take
'cause
grenades
they're
off of
equipment.
profiles. Now, they did add that rule onwards for equipment in the latest edition, but they also added latest book, sorry.
Yeah, book.
They also added a thing where it said, unless it's an upgrade,
Yeah.
which is hard to do objectively. So I think most people just ignore that.
Yeah, basically.
You don't get attached to a grenade in the same way you do a pistol, because one of those is going to explode.
They're all my favorite.
They also don't take up a weapon slot.
Which is awesome.
So someone can hold 3 weapons and as many grenades as they want.
Yep.
You can have as many types of grenades. Now, the big downside, though, is that while I don't believe any of these are actually single shot, which means none of these disappear off of your profile.
None of them are limited. None of them are single shot.
Grenades, as a rule, have a semi-limited ammo check.
Yes.
Basically, whenever you throw a grenade, you have to take an ammo check as if you had rolled ammo.
Exactly.
And if you fail that ammo check, you are out. And I believe you cannot reload.
No, you can't.
You can't.
Yeah, you can't like pat yourself down and find another grenade. So
No,
basically,
you pick up the buckshot off the ground and put it in a tube and to make some.
so they're essentially every one of them is essentially scarce.
Yes.
When you run out of ammo, you can't reload. You can't get them back. And you have to take one every single time you throw one.
Right. So generally, you're gonna get 1 grenade, and I think
Like 2
statistically,
if you're lucky.
You're gonna get a grenade and a half for most of these grenades with a 5-up grenade check. There are some 4 ones, like the good old frag grenade is just a 4-up ammo check, which means you're gonna get like a grenade and I don't know, a half and a half or something like that. Either way, though, they're kind of one-time use things, and that means, but they're not one-time use as in one buy only, right? So that
You're gonna get them back the next game.
Yeah, that does make their use tactical. Some of them are better than others, but I guess that's why we're here.
Yes.
So let's start with the classic, the one, the only, the frag grenade. The frag grenade, the range on the frag grenade, as it is with all grenades, is a multiplier of your strength. In this case, it is strength times 3. So if you have your average of 3 strength, you can throw this thing 9 inches. If you are a Goliath, you can throw it 12. If you're an Ogre, you can throw it 15 inches, which is actually starting to get into long-range territory.
Yeah, pretty good.
The frag grenade has no bonus or minus at long or short range. It has just strength 3, 0 AP, 1 damage, 4-up ammo check. So half the time, you'll get your grenade back. Or find another grenade, I guess I should say.
Yeah, you don't get it back.
Boomerang grenade. Oh, heck. Boom. And has the blast 3-inch keyword grenade, which they all have, and knockback. Now, it is a common item, and it costs you 30 credits.
Yep. Which I'm actually surprised it was that much, but it's still a useful thing to have.
Yeah, so having blast in your pocket can be very good.
Yes, I agree.
Even somebody with even somebody with bad ballistic skill, throwing a 3-inch blast grenade can often kind of get a hit on the scatter, because they always scatter.
It's one of the reasons that we say that specialists, the grenade launcher is one of the best things for them, because if you miss, it's not as big of a deal. And this is just cheaper than that, and, you know, a little close. It's closer range.
Now, the thing is that a grenade launcher with frag and crack grenades is 65 credits.
Yes.
A frag grenade's 30, a crack grenade is 45. So it's actually more to buy them than just a grenade launcher. That's kind of the problem, is that the grenade launcher is very good.
Yeah, grenade launcher is crazy good.
But we're A, rating these internally.
Yep.
And B, the grenade launcher is specialists only, whereas the nice thing about grenades is that basically every juvie can take...
Yeah, every juvie can take... At least ones on their list, which are at least frag and crack. I can't think of a list that doesn't have at least frag and crack. And incendiary and blah, blah, Also, again, as we mentioned, doesn't take up a weapon slot. It should be mentioned that since this is an ammo check, it does synergize with other ammo things like munitioneer or an ammo crate.
Yes.
So you can get that 2-up on your stuff if you want to. But yeah, the real problem with the frag and crack grenades in particular is the grenade launcher is not that much more than buying one of them, and it's actually cheaper than buying both.
Right.
But again, it takes up a weapon slot. It can only be on certain people. Blah blah.
Yeah. So where do we rate the frag grenade? I think it's a B.
I was gonna say low B, high C.
I don't think it's a C because it is pretty good and pretty cheap. And again, the ubiquity. All of these have the main bonus of ubiquity, as in you can put these on basically everybody.
Yeah.
And I think we need to put it in that context. I don't want to compare these too much to special weapons or heavy weapons because they kind of fail in that regard. These are equipment pieces.
That's true.
So none of these take up a weapon slot and can be put on almost anyone.
Mm-hmm.
And in this case,
Just being able to have a 3-inch knockback AoE on anyone, very good.
yeah. So I say this is a nice B. All right, let's go to its cousin, the crack grenade.
The crack grenade is a strength times 3 again. So again, 9 or 12 or whatever. It does have a -1 to hit, which does suck.
At long range.
At long
There
range,
is only
which-
long
yeah,
range.
there's only long. There's no short range for any of these.
Right.
Strength 6, AP 2, 2 damage. Ammo 4 up, and demolitions, which I believe can blow up
Doors and terrain.
Doors and
Doors
terrain.
or any other terrain piece for scenarios.
Yeah.
This it's mostly doors. Basically, this thing can knock down doors.
Yeah, which is cool. And it is, as we said earlier, is rare 8 and 45 credits.
So the problem with the crack grenade is that, again, you mainly want grenades on people who aren't taking better weapons.
Mm-hmm.
This is 45 credits, which is almost the cost of like a bolter. And you have -1 to hit all the time.
-1 to hit all the times, the thing that seals it for me.
I think the crack grenade is a D tier. I think it's basically garbage.
Yep, which is crazy because the crack grenade on the again, what we're talking about other things because they're comparable.
Oh, the big thing. Sorry, I should restate. This one has a -1 to hit and no AOE.
Yeah,
So if you miss, nothing
it's just gone.
happens.
It's just gone, and you could lose the grenade, and it's
It's not worth it. It's not worth putting one of these on your juvie. Yes, technically they might be able to hit, but juvies with ballistic skill 5 are now hitting at 6 all the time.
Yeah,
I mean, you
no.
can aim and throw a grenade.
you're 9 inches. Yeah,
Yeah, which is not nothing. 9 inches is not nothing for range in Necromunda. But when you're -1 to hit and the grenade just goes piff if you miss,
Yeah.
no.
No.
The crack grenade, unfortunately, is trash. All right.
Would that put it in F tier then, or is that
I think it's D tier because in theory you could use it on somebody with a nice ballistic skill.
fair and not take a weapon slot?
There are also aren't many skills that synergize with grenades specifically.
No, not really.
Like, I wish there were things that gave bonuses to hit with grenades, but there really aren't.
Yeah, there should be.
Yeah, it's kind of a niche, probably because they're very good.
Yeah. Which one next? Those are the only two
Those are the
normal
ones everyone
ones.
uses. Well, no, there's two more that everyone uses. Let's do those first. Starting with the incendiary charge.
That's true. That's
Oh,
true.
by the way, yeah, the crack grenade is also strength times 3. We'll tell you when it's not strength times 3. There's basically one of these that is not.
Yeah,
two of these that are not strength times 3.
There are two of them.
But the incendiary charge is another strength times 3. It's a strength 3 weapon, 0 AP, 1 damage. It's a 5-up ammo check. It's rare 7 for 40 credits, and it is blast 5 inches and blaze. For all the reasons the crack is bad, this one's good.
Yeah.
It has no malice to hit at range. And also, it's a 5-inch plate, which means it has to scatter like 3 inches away from your target
To not hit it,
to not hit it.
let alone hitting a wall and stopping.
Right. Incendiary charges slap. I think they are S tier.
I was gonna say high A, low S.
For grenades, they're S tier.
That's true.
We are rating these internally.
Okay, I have to think. Are any of these?
Because that's the thing. There's one more that's S.
That's fair.
But grenades in general are probably a lower tier weapon than most weapons.
Yeah.
Because they're inherently shorter range, but they're easier to get.
Yeah, but they're also not weapons.
Right. So we're rating these as against each other, not against other weapons.
Basically, every time I go to take a grenade, it's would I rather have this or an incendiary grenade?
That's kind of like how heavy weapons all rate poorly to a plasma gun.
Yeah.
But that's not the fault of the heavy weapons. It's the fault of them being heavy.
Yeah.
So incendiary charges, absolutely amazing weapons. If your juvies have access to them, it's a wonderful way to get an instant force multiplier for your juvies.
Yep.
Because they can run up into range, and yeah, they're hitting on 5s, but they throw it at someone. Yeah, sure, it'll probably scatter, but even with a scatter, there's a good chance it'll hit.
Yeah, a 50-50 to hit your main target, maybe more.
And then it'll pin them. And then maybe the strength 3 will do something, but maybe it won't. Oh, and then it'll probably set them on fire.
Yeah. Incendiary charges at blast 3 would probably still be A tier, but it's blast 5.
Yes. Yeah, they're very, very good. Highly recommend you stack incendiary charges on someone who just needs something effective for 40 credits.
Yeah.
40 credits is a little steep, but that's the big thing you have to think about putting these guys who can't take other good things for 40 credits.
Yeah.
Most juvies...
When 40 credits is the most expensive thing you can take on.
Right, and it's worth it. All right. Let's do photon flash grenades.
Josh's favorite. They are, again, strength times 3. They don't have a single stat. They don't have a strength, an AP, or damage.
These aren't for damage.
Nope. They are a 5-up reload, blast 5 inches with flash, rare 9 and only 15 credits.
Yes, and the combination of all these things is why they are my second choice for S tier.
Yeah.
So flash, reminder, you hit someone with flash, they make an initiative check. If they fail the initiative check, they lose their ready marker or don't get one next turn. Flash is amazingly good. These things have a 9-inch range. They have, again, a 5-inch radius for when they hit things, so your juvies can carry these and disable opponents, and they only cost 15 credits.
So think about it. Would you rather have one action on your juvie or give up that action so that a 5-inch AoE pie plate could not take an action next turn?
And even if you have to move and shoot or aim and shoot, if you're using a cheap juvie to deny the action of someone who is way more expensive and way more powerful, your juvie has accomplished what a juvie is supposed to do, which is get in the way.
Exactly.
Juvies aren't supposed to kill things.
Oh, God.
They're supposed to be annoying and to stand in front of shots for other things, right? Your juvie has accomplished that.
Yep.
And that's the fact that it would be A tier, but 15 credits is why it's S.
15 credits is so dumb.
It's so cheap.
The only real downside is rare 9.
Yes, it is rare 9. It won't ever kill anything, so you could just delay the inevitable.
Yep.
It also sucks butt versus Escher.
Yep.
And ain't great versus Nomads.
Yeah, if it fully matters on your opponent's crew.
Right.
Against, Vansar, Ogres, Squats, amazing.
Yes.
Against Escher and Nomads,
And that is the other thing to remember. Against most of the enemies in Necromunda who have a 4-up initiative, this actually only has a 50-50 chance to actually do literally anything.
Yeah, true.
And that's why it's 15 credits.
Yeah.
50% of the time, this thing does nothing against most of your opponents.
It does, strangely enough, does Flash pin still?
No.
Okay, I didn't think
Flash
so.
does not pin.
Flash and Gas don't pin.
Flash and gas doesn't pin. The other thing is that photon goggles, photo goggles, give you a +2 against this roll in your favor, not against. Like, they're not night vision goggles, because in real life, night vision goggles, you get flashed, it's the worst.
Yeah.
But they're like night light normalization goggles.
Yeah.
So wearing photo goggles is an easy way to get a +2 to your roll on this. So they're also easily countered. There is a reason they're cheap.
Just people are taking photo goggles anyway.
Right. But if your opponent's not investing in those,
Yep.
or if they have bad initiative anyway, worth every penny.
Yeah, great.
All right, I think now we're just going to go down the list because that's kind of the end of the list of things people actually use.
I mean, smoke grenades are usable.
Oh, I forgot about smoke grenades.
Smoke grenades.
Let's do smoke grenades.
Smoke grenades also don't have any stats to mention.
Another strength times 3.
Another strength times 3. They have a 4-up reload. They have blast star and a smoke keyword.
Yes.
And basically what that means is you put down an AoE 5, and it has a chance to go away every turn. It's on a 1, 2, or 3 it goes away.
Yep.
And it blocks line of sight.
Yep.
Basically all it is. Again, photo goggles can get around it. Oh, and I didn't mention, it's common in 15 credits, so
Yes.
also 15 credits. So it has a chance to do literally nothing. It's more about the controlling of the board.
Yes, which is why I think smoke grenades are an A tier.
Oh, okay.
They're not quite S, because they won't kill anybody and they won't steal your opponent's actions.
That's true.
But smoke grenades are wonderful for being able to move into a place you want to go.
Yep.
Yes, infrasights and photo goggles can see right through it. That's very true. But your entire opponent's team probably doesn't have those unless it's very late in the game. Like photon flash grenades, these things fall off towards the end when people are rocking all that cool stuff.
People start getting around it.
But if you're have a Vansar opponent you're worried about for your first couple games, smoke grenades can ruin their lives. Because, they might disappear after one round, but they also might not. And for at least that one round, that is your chance to get close.
Yeah, the short range or melee factions, I would definitely recommend some amount of smoke grenades. They're super cheap and very useful.
Yes. Even if you're not short range or melee, I recommend carrying a couple on a juvie. Or a couple juvies or something, just because they give you options to shut down firing lanes.
Yeah. I want a smoke grenade to be able to blind a vehicle so that it runs into stuff.
Yeah, do the thing with View to a Kill, where James Bond shoots a flare gun into a helicopter.
Yeah.
And it just fills with smoke and then crashes.
Yeah, so we should be able to do that. If you direct hit a vehicle with a
Yeah.
a smoke grenade, it just auto.
I mean, given that a lot of the vehicles, including the Ridge Hauler, are open cabbed,
That's
you
true.
should be able to chuck a lot of grenades in those, but we don't talk about that.
House rule it.
Yeah. All right.
Now we go down the list.
I'm just going to go to stun grenades because it's next.
Okay.
Another strength times 3. These are basically concussion grenades. We've talked about this before.
Yes.
They're strength 2, AP 1, 1 damage, 4 ammo check, blast 3 inch, concussion, rare 8, 15 credits. Stun's not great.
Stun's not great. It's only strength 2.
Yeah, concussion is a thing where you can basically lower their initiative.
Mm-hmm.
So using this in turn with a photon flash grenade
Mm-hmm.
can be very powerful. Concussion can be really good against vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
I don't rate these super highly nor super lowly.
It's crazy because they're only 15 credits, and I feel like they're still not worth it.
I say they are C.
Yeah.
They're average.
Yeah.
They have their niche.
They don't have -1 to hit. So there's that.
That's that. All right. How about we do... no, we'll save that. Let's do scare gas grenades.
Scare gas grenades. Man, I'm getting all the ones with no stats. So strength times 3. It is a 6-up reload. So it is the worst on this list. Tied for the worst on the list. And it is blast 3 inches, fear, and gas. Just like my Thanksgiving. It's rare 10 and 45 credits.
So, fear makes them take a nerve test.
Yep.
And they could break them. Gas does have the potential to actually, like, kill people.
Yes, it does.
Because, like, this doesn't say never does damage.
Oh, I think...
Or no, fear does.
Fear
Never mind.
says it never does.
Never does
so
damage, yeah.
basically, gas cuts through your wounds.
Yes, and armor.
And armor. And if it does that, then it causes fear and they could run.
Right.
So 45 credits is a lot for that.
Yeah, that's my problem is 45 credits.
And a 6-up, so you're never going to get 2 shots at it, really.
No.
That's expensive.
Yeah, I think this goes in D. Not quite F, but I almost never use it.
Yeah. Uses, but not great.
Phosphor canister. How about you take this one because it's got stats?
Yay. It has -1 to hit next. It's strength 4, AP 3, 2 damage. One of the best damaging grenades on this list. A 5-up ammo, blaze, blast 3. It is rare 10 and only 40 credits.
So for the same cost as an incendiary charge,
Yes.
you get a -1 to hit,
Yes.
but you get a strength 4, 3 AP, 2 damage, 3 inch blast.
Yes. So you lose a little bit on blast. And you
Yeah.
have -1 to hit. So I think this one is a incendiary charge on someone with good ballistic skill.
That's the thing, yeah. Strength 4 is decent. AP 3 is really good.
AP 3 is nuts.
2 damage is really good, and then blaze.
Yeah.
And blast 3
So
inches.
even if your damage 2 doesn't take them out, they still have 50% chance
I
to be
think
on
this
fire.
goes in B tier.
Okay.
behind frags.
If it wasn't that -1 to hit,
It'd be
but
A
again,
tier.
Yeah. Again, you can put this on somebody that actually has good ballistic skill, and
Or you can aim
actually
and-
be really scary.
Aim and throw.
I don't put value in aim and throw on something with only 9-inch range. It's the same reason that a heavy flamer sucks. 'Cause
Sure.
You don't want to not move and only like.
That's true.
Meh. At least this gives you the option to do it.
Yeah. All right. Next, we'll go up with our first F tier weapon, which is the plasma grenades. Another strength times 3 weapon. It's a plasma shot. So strength 5, AP 1, 2 damage, 4-up ammo check, and blast 3 for rare 10 and 90 credits. Oh, and it has unstable. Remember, unstable triggers whenever you roll an ammo check. You will always roll an ammo check for a grenade. So you will always have
Every single time you throw this, you have a 50% chance to die.
correct
Every single time.
F tier.
F tier. Never buy it.
It goes out to D tier on wreckers if you plan to use it after the charge, because whenever they use something,
They already have
they
unstable.
already have unstable. Ergo.
But then
D-
you just don't have something that auto rolls you an unstable check.
I don't understand the question.
Like,
Yeah, if you're playing Suicide Wreckers, this has...
yeah.
Or I guess if you're playing somebody who had, like, Van Star can remove unstable in some ways. There's some other ways they can remove unstable.
Or mitigate.
Mitigate unstable. If you're doing that, this is fine, but plasma grenades are bad. It's also 90 credits.
Oh my god, 90 credits.
Yeah. Like, I would rather use the phosphor grenade.
That's again, we're not checking outside of this, but that's
Right.
10 credits less than just a plasma gun.
Yes. Yes. Again, though, a juvie could probably take this.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah. You just stack them up.
Because it's equipment.
It doesn't have -1 to hit,
Right.
so he's probably going to hit like half the time and then die half the time.
Right, that's the problem. Yeah, so you can put this on someone you really don't like. I still put it in F tier.
This should have been the overcharge. It should have been strength
Yeah.
7, AP 2, 3 damage.
That would make it way better.
Yeah.
But instead, it's a plasma grenade that is just, one plasma shot. What's the point of a grenade?
One low plasma shot.
We'll save this one for last.
Okay.
So, and that one for last. So let's go up to the good old Melt-A-Bomb.
All right. This is unfortunately another -1 to hit. But it's strength 8 AP 4, 3 damage. 6 up ammo, demolitions, and melta.
Now,
But it's strength times 3.
Uh-huh.
How does nope.
Melta says if you're within short range.
This doesn't have a short range.
So it just always works.
Oh, I thought it was just doesn't work.
To my understanding.
Okay, let's
here's
be
the
sure.
thing. I'm going to double check right now. But I believe that Melta says
Like if it doesn't have a short range. There it is.
then the trait applies to all attacks made by it.
Okay.
So yeah. So
You always melta.
if you hit somebody with this, they die.
Yeah.
Like, so I guess the strength of the damage doesn't actually matter.
Nope. Well, I mean, they have to roll an injury dice. So
Yes,
if
that's
they
true.
have a tough wounds of more than 3
Okay, or against vehicles.
or against vehicles, it would matter against vehicles.
So yeah, so this is -1 to hit.
Oh, and it's rare 11 and 60 credits. I didn't mention.
60 credits isn't the worst.
Yeah.
You're only ever going to get one shot. But I'd take it over a plasma grenade.
Oh yeah, for 30 credits less.
Yeah.
Again, this is kind of like the plasma grenade, but better in basically almost every way.
Yeah. And 30 credits cheaper.
And 30 credits cheaper. But it also is something I would put on somebody with really good ballistic skill,
Yeah.
because sometimes you ran out of ammo with your plasma gun, and you can't get in melee. Your only choice is to go, yeah.
Pocket sand. Oh, that was a Melta.
That was whoops! I threw a melta grenade.
Yeah. It's the Terminator 2, the
chain link fence.
The chain link fence, yeah, turns into a skeleton, basically. All right. So yeah, where does it go though?
Oh God, I think it has its uses, but it's not amazing. Yeah, I think you're right. It's in one of those.
Is it in low B or high C? I feel like low B is good.
Low B?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not as good as the phosphor.
I'd rather have that than a stun grenade. Though.
Yes, because the other thing about this is that this is another one where it's a -1 to hit, and if it misses, nothing happens. It goes poof.
That's true.
There is no blast on this.
But it won't kill you.
Right. So I almost yeah, we'll leave it at B.
Yeah.
It's a very low B though.
Yeah.
All right.
The lowest B you can get.
Let's do the flares next. The only thing you need to know about the flares, like it's a strength times 3 weapon, it's a 4-up ammo check, it's got the flare thing. Basically, it illuminates. This is the anti-smoke grenade.
Yeah.
In a 5-inch circle, it illuminates things. Anybody in there is revealed.
Yep.
In any conditions, it is common for 20 credits.
It's a lot better with ash waste scenarios.
Yep.
And like
In pitch black.
Pitch black. The only issue with it is it's really short range.
Mm-hmm.
In that you have to kind of be able to see what you're shooting, but then you want to see what you're shooting.
Yeah, but you can only throw it within 9 inches anyway. In many of
that's
those
true.
cases, you can see 79 inches.
So you
anyway.
can light up somebody so that somebody further away can
or
hit.
light up an area so if somebody goes into it, they get shot.
Also true.
I'm going to put this in like high C because this is the definition of super niche.
Yeah.
But having one of your juvies be able to go forward, so if they get shot, who cares?
Yeah.
And illuminate an area, either a vehicle in the ash waste or something in pitch black, so all your team can shoot at it, and your opponent either can't hide in that area or can't go through it. It's got its uses.
Only 20 credits.
That's the thing, is it's nice and cheap.
Yeah.
And common. And 4-up ammo check, so you might even get to use it twice.
That's fair.
All right, what do you want to do next? You want to do the choke gas grenades?
Uh,
Do you want to do the David Carradine grenades?
or the blast TIG charges, because I spelled it wrong.
We'll go with choke gas grenades.
David Carradine grenades. Okay. This doesn't have any stats except for strength times 3. We're just skipping over those two. Strength times 3 and a 5-up ammo. It is blast 3 with gas, rare 9 and 50 credits.
So it's a gas grenade for 50 credits.
a gas
I don't rate it highly.
Gas grenade for 50 credits is not great. I'd probably say D.
Better with Escher because they can mess with it.
Yes.
Ever-
They can do weird stuff to
But
it.
for everyone else, it's better than scares. At least it doesn't have a -1 to hit.
Yeah, and it actually pins. Oh, no, sorry, it doesn't pin.
No, gas never
it
pins.
can actually deal damage is what I meant.
Yes, you can actually kill someone. All right, blasting charges. Yes, we misspelled it. Sue us. Blasting charges. This is one of those 2 strength times 2 weapons, so you cannot throw them very far. 6 inches if you're a normal Juby, or most people who's not a Goliath. Blasting charges are strength 5, AP 1, 2 damage. Hey, that seems like a really familiar profile.
It does.
Blast 5 inches and knockback. Rare 8, 35 credits. So for nearly a third of the cost of a plasma grenade, you can get the same damage profile, and the only cost is you can only have a 6-inch range instead of a 9-inch range, which does matter, but this is just a better plasma grenade.
I feel like this is the upgraded frag grenade.
Yes.
It is a frag grenade that can actually deal damage and has a bigger AoE.
You do have to get closer, though.
You have to get closer. This is really good on high strength.
Yep.
Just because it's a really, really good deal for like Goliath.
Yes.
And really good deal for, oh my god, Ogren.
Yes. The one big downside to blasting charges is that if you are a normal strength 3 person, there is a decent chance this will kill you and bounce back.
Yeah, an AoE 5 with only 6-inch range.
Yes. That is, it doesn't take much for it to get back to you.
Yeah, true.
So for that reason, I'm going to put this in low B. I'm going
That's
to put it above the melted bomb, though. I think it's got its more useful. All right, how about the sister to this, the demo charge, next up?
It is also strength times 2, the only other one was strength times 2. It is a strength 6 AP 3 damage with blast 5. Oh, we lied. This one has single shot.
Well, it's single shot, but it doesn't get... Oh, this one does get removed from your profile, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So, okay. This is
no. It's single shot, so you can't ever reload it.
Right.
But you do get it the next game. It's not
limited.
Limited.
Okay. And it's rare 12 and 50 credits. So this is just a better...
Sorry, let me double check that single shot doesn't also give you limited. No, because the other one said single shot and unlimited.
Yeah. This is a better blasting charge.
Yes.
In every way. Strength 6, AP 3 damage is to be feared. 5-inch blast is to be feared. 50 credits is not too bad for that profile.
Sure, I could definitely see this late game.
You're not getting that profile on much else for 50 credits.
Right.
And again, it's just flat better than the plasma grenade because it doesn't kill you. Strength times 2 is bad, but if you're putting in this on somebody who doesn't matter as much, I feel like it's a great way to give some oomph to a juvie.
And single shot actually doesn't matter as much on grenades because you're generally getting only 1 or 2 anyway. Which
is why I'm putting this... I mean, this is equivalent to the blasting charges. I feel it's appropriately better and appropriately more expensive.
Yep.
So, B tier. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Now let's get to the weird crap. The Mind Flecked Shard.
Mind Flecked Shard.
Mind Flecked. Another strength times 3.
Oh, God.
Strength 3, AP 1 damage, 4 up. Blast 5-inch, cursed, and esoteric, so no putting attachments on your grenades. It's rare 11 and 50 credits. Sorry, rare 10, 50 credits.
No, it's
illegal
10
and 50 credits. Third time's a charm. So this is a 5-inch grenade that makes your opponents go crazy. It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Pretty good for 50 credits. We talked about the other things that are 50 credits. The demo charge is 50 credits and is pretty good. The Melted Bomb is 60 credits, and we rated that highly. So I think this goes firmly into A tier because, high B.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot in A. Yeah.
I don't think these are as good as smoke grenades because they are 50 credits.
Yeah, they are 50 credits.
But 5-inch, you know what? No, I'm going with A tier.
Oh, you grabbed the wrong one.
Sorry. I'm going A tier because this is a 5-inch AoE cursed.
Yeah.
And they're not that expensive.
No. And as seen on 45 previous episodes, Insane is stupid.
Insane is real bad. Although it is not as good as just killing somebody.
That's true.
And the other things, there are other things on here that will just kill somebody for the same cost.
Yeah.
And last but not least, we have the Shard Grenade.
It is strength 2, AP 2, 1 damage with 4-up ammo, blast 5, also cursed, and esoteric and rending.
Right.
It's illegal 9 and 30 credits. It's the baby version.
So, well, that's the thing, though. The real reason you're buying this is for cursed.
Yeah.
You're not buying this.
It's not dealing damage with strength 2.
Right. Also, this thing has AP 2.
It does have AP 2.
The other one has AP 1. So this does less strength. So this is going to be wounding on a 5 even for your little guys, but you don't care because curse just needs to hit.
Yeah.
So therefore, I'm going to rate this A tier higher than the Mind Flex Shard because it's 20 credits cheaper for what you want. It's functionally better.
What you're doing anyway.
I think this might be the most balanced list yet.
I think so.
Now, here's the problem. The grenade tier list itself is probably only C tier on the tier lists.
Okay, yeah, so here's what we should do is after we've done all the tier lists, we should do a tier list.
I was about to joke about that, the tier list of tier lists. I mean, we might consider doing that. Because in general, because of their nature as being very short range and usually one shot,
yep,
you're only getting these as a way to round out somebody who has something else to do.
Yeah.
Because you've got one chance to actually do something with it. And you're only usually putting these on someone who can't get a better weapon or doesn't have anything else to do, which usually is a juvie or somebody else of that kind of equivalency.
Yep. Or some. Okay. So one of the things that should be mentioned is corpse grinder cults.
Yeah.
Corpse grinder cults have a special thing where you can't take ranged weapons in the whole faction except on their juvies. These are not ranged weapons.
Right.
So you can put these on any guy you want, which is really good because their strength is generally strong.
Ogrins have the same limitation where they are very, very limited in what they can bring because of their lists, but they have no limitation on equipment.
Yes.
So grenades are very, very good for them. Plus, they throw very, very hard.
Yeah.
So just keep in mind that this looks like a very top-heavy or middle-heavy tier list. Like, wow, all the grenades are really good. You got to keep that in mind that this is in the context of being grenades.
Yeah. Which are in general weaker than other guns.
And all of these get them, these are all blast weapons that would get a minus to hit if you just throw them at the ground.
True.
So keep that in mind.
Yep.
But overall, grenades pretty fun.
Grenades pretty fun. I might try out some of these. Like, I've never used the shard or mindflect shard grenade.
Yeah, those are benefited by being added to the trading post over the black market.
Yeah.
Because now you can visit the trading post.
So maybe I'll try those out. Although they're both cursed, which will get me probably, cursed out of the back room.
No, I think it'll just get people to do the things that you do against curse because they do exist.
Yeah.
And also, what's going to happen is you're going to throw one that's going to bounce back and curse your juvie, which is going to be hilarious.
It would be hilarious.
What would also be hilarious is if you let us know below what you think of our tier list and what you think of the grenades in Necromunda as well. If we missed anything or if you see any synergies we didn't see, please let us know. We always love to learn. If you want to talk to us more in person, we do have our Game Talk Network Discord linked down below where there's a community of people hanging out, painting things, and talking about Necromunda occasionally. And we will see you for the next and I believe final tier list for the close combat weapons.
Yes.
'Cause I don't think we're going to do one on the booby traps.
Do we want to do one on literally everything else?
I'll burn that bridge when I get to it.
Fair enough.
And until that time,
Bye.